What my dad taught us was he called seize teachable moments.
Oh, yes, yes.
Which was
I
more
believe
about,
that.
in other words, all you do is you go through the day, and when there's an so when do devotions happen? They can happen anytime and all the time. If you see a rainbow in the sky, my dad would just say, hey, you guys see that rainbow? Yeah, oh, that's really cool. He's like, oh, by the way, what's that supposed to remind us of again? I know that's supposed to remind us of something. And what is that? And then, of course, then there would be your devotional conversation where you talk about, oh, yeah, it's supposed to remind us of God's love, that he will know, all these things. Devotional moments can happen when you see an accident on the side of the road. When you may say, okay, hey, let's just pray for those people that were in an accident real quick, and there it is. So I think that's the problem with when you hear the word devotions. You tend to think that you've got to create this magical time, and today people don't have time as it is, and then that time's got to be perfect and everyone behaving, and I think it's God wants it to be much easier than that.
What would you say to the men as far as being the spiritual leader in their home? What would you say as far as encouraging men to really seize that and how they can see that lived out?
You know what? Here's what I would say to guys is nowhere in the Bible does it say do devotions, but it does say be devoted. And nowhere does it say, it gives us a whole list of things we have to do. It just says live in love with God. And I think for many men today, and that's what I've been hearing consistently at this event too, is, for men, we struggle with two sides, not just living in love. I mean, we know how to fall in love, but then it's how do you stay in love? And I think one of the things that Jesus really instructed his disciples, especially in John 15, as you see it, is remain in me, remain in me, remain in me. He says it 11 times in 7 verses, and it's like, oh my, he's trying to get something across here. Not only as men are we called, let's live in love with God, but we need to stay in love with him, because that's going to really impress our sons and our daughters. Is that when times get tough, or when things don't turn out perfect, or when we lose our job, or when they even stray, and we stay committed to God, we stay a worshiper, we stay in prayer, we stay a man of integrity, when they see that we stay committed to our wives, when they see us stay, that impresses our kids, even when they're straying, and that's what leads them back.
I think we communicate so much when we're faced with the trials of life, when we have these various instances where we could either cave or we could trust God more deeply. When we demonstrate our faith in God in the midst of adversity, I think that communicates powerfully to our children.
It absolutely does. So, I mean, I guess most men would love a little checklist of, give me these 5 things to do. I guess I'm just going to tell you guys, just live in love with God. Don't be a fake. Don't fake Christianity. Don't fake church. Live in love with him. If you don't know what that's like, then just start getting connected with your church in a way. Say, I want to go deeper. I want to know more than just coming to church. And then just start reading the word for yourself. Start praying yourself. Just start living in love with God, living in relationship with him, as you would as if you were wanting to be in a relationship with a girl for the first time. You'd start spending time with her. You'd start talking to her. You would start devoting more. And that's just, guys, just start doing that. And trust me, that is going to influence our kids. I mean, because if we make it all about what we got to do with the kids, they could see right through us if we're not really doing it out of place of love. And that's what I love about Deuteronomy 6 is before it says, impress this on your children, it says, love the Lord with all your heart, your soul, your strength. And a lot of times I missed that. I was already to the now talk about these things, but start with living in love with him.